Hi, I am Dominic Dellavedova, and this is my StokTrak presentation. This presentation will cover our StokTrak journals and what the idea was behind that, as well as where my StokTrak portfolio currently is. Then we'll move to market conditions that I think affected my portfolio performance. What would I change personally for my experience in this? And then end off on uh, discussing if StockTrack agreed with my group's performance on how we ranked our companies. Um, Starting with StockTrack journaling, we did that for about 6 weeks, where we looked at our portfolio performance and reported on that, as well as did research on market conditions that could have uh, influenced our portfolios either positively or negatively. Um, Moving on to my actual portfolio, uh, it did not do as well as I had hoped for, but that is on me. I probably could have done a few things better, and I'll get to that in a sec. But looking at the good things first, uh, at the end, my stocks like Google, Coke, McDonald's, um, to name a few common names, and then my other stocks, AXP, FMBN, HAL, and FBDC, all saw a return this week, which fortunately brought my portfolio return percentage up to negative 0.02%. It was a lot worse earlier. It has since risen. Uh, Stocks that negatively affected my portfolio were KBR, FLR, Fleur, Shell Corporation, PBYN, ACM, ACOM, Jacob Solutions, and CCM, um, which were down by quite a bit. Um, Looking at market conditions, I do think a couple examples did influence my portfolio quite a bit. Those being the government shutdown and the implementation of some tariffs that may have caused quite a bit of uncertainty with investors. Um, which that could affect a few of mine because was our industry was construction and engineering. The government shut down. Our companies had quite a few contracts with government agencies and government sites for construction and engineering purposes. With that, a few of our companies since they're involved in construction, tariffs implemented on materials needed for construction uh, could have also could have also negatively impacted those uh, stocks. So yeah, I do think market conditions could affect quite a few areas. Uh, One of those areas not being was AI. AI continued to be strong throughout the government shutdown and the implementation of tariffs. It is the only that I have seen stay consistent and stay strong continuously throughout uh, these 8 weeks. What would I change? I would have changed how much research I did, um, looking into companies I invested into. Some of the companies I thought of because I knew their brand, like Google, McDonald's, and Coke, or the Shell Corporation. I chose those because those were well known to me. I felt confident in their popularity and thought, oh, probably a good investment. Others I looked up random letters and oh, this one looks like it's doing good right now, and I would get it. That is not the way to do it. That is not a smart way to do it. So I do wish I did a bit more research and looked into uh, stock valuations as well, or valuation ratios, um, like EBIT and profit share margins and all that ratios. Because looking at those, you can tell if a company is being overvalued or undervalued, um, based off of averages and what it probably should look like. Um, but it can also be a great way to look at the health and stability of a company if they're continuing to grow, if they're seeing a drop off, in some areas that can explain or give reason for an investor to invest or not to invest. So I do wish I did more research, looked into the ratios of each company a little bit more, looked into their industries a bit more, see if anything big is going on that could affect them, like the government shutdown or tariffs, or if there was an upset in the industry, if somebody got ahead, if a CEO is fired. There are so many different things that can potentially influence a stock and investor confidence. So you really have to keep your eyes peeled and be doing the research. Um, Looking at my team's performance, our companies were KBR Solutions, ACOM, Fleur, and Jacob Solutions. All of these did not do very well, again, because of my guess is because of the government shutdown and the implementation of tariffs due to the industry that they're in and them having contracts with multiple government agencies in construction and engineering. Um, we had ranked them to be Fleur, Jacob Solutions, ACOM, and KBR. And that is based off of our second evaluation using valuation ratios for this that second paper. That is the last time we ranked them. But StokTrak had it differently, where KBR had a profit loss percentage of 8% or 0.8%. My bad. Then Fleur had a negative 8.49%. Jacob Solutions had a negative 12.94%, and ACOM had a negative 24.05%. This just shows the profit loss percentages, though, and does not give the full picture. Uh, like I said earlier, we gave those rankings because of the valuation ratios and how we interpreted them. And that also does not show you the size of these companies. KBR is the smallest company. ACOM is the largest company. Jacob Solutions is the second smallest company, and Fleur is the second largest company. Uh, Knowing this now, it can potentially make a bit more sense why KBR has a lower profit loss percentage than ACOM. Because ACOM may have invested a bit more in riskier um investments uh, and lost a bit more money, but ACOM is also worth a lot more money and has grossed a lot more money than KBR has. While KBR because they have a smaller profit, they may have invested more in low risk solutions. Um, and looking at the valuation ratios, you can tell that, uh, and looking at their ideologies, you can tell that KBR has invested in more low risk, while ACOM has invested in uh, more architecture. They're trying to invest in more architecture, but they do have construction, higher risk construction going on right now that they're trying to get out of. So there are so many different factors that can make or break a company stock, and just paying attention to, oh, what's going on in the market, um, how large are these companies, what are these companies investing in, are they high risk solutions or are they low risk solutions? There are so many factors you have to look out for when deciding your stocks. And earlier I was saying I wish I did more research. I do, because you have to have a full understanding before you really commit to it. Because if you don't, you might make stupid purchasing decisions like I did. Um, Thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening. Um, I hope this has allowed somebody else to expand their thought. Uh, have a nice day. Have a wonderful winter break. Bye. Thank you.